Illinois Congressman Mike Quigley, he's a member of the House Appropriations Committee. Always good to see you, Congressman. So President Biden telling Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu that the U.S. will not participate in any offensive operations against Iran, urging him to take the win, not to retaliate. If Netanyahu decides to strike back against Iran, what kind of a position does that put the United States in?
Well, look, we have sworn that we are going to defend Israel. This would be an escalatory matter. And at this point in time, I know the majority of leaders in the area are asking him to show some restraint, take the victory, understand in Iran's mind it was retaliation. I disagree with that. But do you really want the U.S. To become involved in a major war in the Middle East again? And that's inevitably where this leads when you continue to escalate.
So some Republicans, that would include Senators Lindsey Graham and Marsha Blackburn, are calling for retaliatory strikes against Iran. Let's take a listen together to what former National Security Advisor John Bolton said this morning. Here's that.
So I think Israel has a wide range of potential targets. You start by flattening Iran's air defense capabilities. Next, you might go after headquarters of the regular military and the Revolutionary Guards. You could consider going after their oil infrastructure, the oil fields, the distribution pipelines, the export port facilities. And most importantly, I think Israel should be looking at this as an opportunity to destroy Iran's nuclear weapons program, which is the existential threat that Israel faces.
So John Bolton there and other senators potentially seeing this as a reason for an opportunity to attack Iran. What kind of pressure does this GOP hawkishness put on the Biden administration as it is trying to avoid a wider regional war?
No, I think that's right. I think they want to avoid that war, and they don't necessarily need to listen to the farthest extreme hawks. Mr. Bolton talking about wiping out their nuclear weapons program, that's a mouthful because it's simply not going to happen without massive strikes and troops on the ground. It won't happen otherwise. But let's remember that if we want to support Israel, and we do, escalating right now is possibly the worst possible time. There are threats not just from Iran, but militia groups, Hezbollah, Houthis, and others. And they're also trying to dismantle Hamas at this point in time. So you're going to put Israel at a very untenable position if you're talking about a full-fledged war. Right now, the first task at hand for the U.S. Congress is to pass the Senate bill, which will help in two of the international crises, which both have strategic and moral reasons for our support.
Do you expect Speaker Johnson to bring that particular bill, or perhaps one that focuses exclusively right now on the timing on Israel, to the House this week for a vote? How would you feel about that exclusive one, just focusing on Israel? I know that you have spent a lot of time in Ukraine.
I just came back from Ukraine, and I will tell you, this is my third trip there during the war. The time has passed for inaction. This is a war that's about to turn. If we don't do what's necessary here, the Ukrainian, the Polish, and the U.S. military officials there briefed us extensively. This war will turn. Ukraine can still win, and Ukraine can still lose this. We can have a sovereign democratic country wiped off the face of the earth. There is no moral or strategic reason for Speaker Johnson not to include Ukrainian aid in this package. There is purely political reasons. And if he thinks he's going to appease the far right, if he thinks that they will ever support him, he should listen to and pay attention to what happened to Speaker McCarthy.
Can I ask you quickly if you think that which has transpired over this weekend will compel more Republicans to support a bill for Israel, at least Israel? I won't speak to Ukraine because they weren't involved in this weekend's actions, but will it get all Republicans and Democrats on the same page? Will we see support for Israel by the end of this week, a bill passed?
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever get all because there's a far right who are just listening to former President Trump. I do think we'll have bills on the floor I think ultimately, let's just remember, if you want to help Israel and Ukraine, there is one bill that's already passed the Senate. By this time next week, President Biden will have been able to sign this bill. If you want to play ping pong with the Senate again, with the vagaries there, then both will be put at risk.
Illinois Congressman and good friend to us, Mike Quigley, thank you so much for your time.